I don't like traveling and I don't like packing. But most importantly, I want to find out if the MacBook Pro 16-inch is going to be too big to travel with. Can you travel with this thing and just go on about your business, just like everything? Hello? Just want to confirm if my ticket has been booked for tomorrow. The MacBook fits perfectly inside with no problem.
Please double check. Make sure bring your passport with you.
So out here, just getting off lunch from the tour. Well, clearly I couldn't use the laptop on the bus because the bus was just too small. Pretty sure that if it was on a train or on a plane, it would be just fine. Yeah.
So we just retreat to the mountain, hide in the caves. So we just walk inside the cave.
So I've been logging around this MacBook now for the whole of today, basically, on this trip. And one of the first things that I would like to say in regard to if this MacBook is good for travel is yes. And let me tell you why. One, this thing fits very well into my backpack. My backpack is pretty much a photography backpack. It's the same size of any standard travel backpack. It fits pretty well, sits nicely. Yes, it does take up more room compared to my 13-inch MacBook Pro, but guys, that laptop is small. This is not. What I was really surprised about was how not heavy this MacBook is. It's not really heavy for the size of a 16-inch. Compared to previous 16 inches that Apple previously had before. So I would say that it fits well into the backpack. It is very compatible, not compatible. It is portable enough for you to travel with. It's not that big, people. The next thing is the performance on this thing, and I cannot say this enough. This MacBook is great for the performance. I think that the M1 Max chip works well with all the GPU and blah blah blah. Takes all the clips that I throw at it and it just works. I don't have to worry about transcoding or rendering or whatever. I mean, most of the edits that I do now, I don't even render them. I just drop them on the timeline and then I go to work. This laptop is fantastic for that because you don't have to worry about performance. You just have to bring it out, find a place to sit down and get to work, which sort of brings me to the third thing, which is the battery life. The battery life on this thing is fantastic. I'm back at the hotel now and I did some very light reviews today on this MacBook. When I left the house, the battery was 100 and now all through the day it's just down to 80%. So this thing can hold its juice and it's just nice to know that. It's not great, but it is great. Because of the efficiency of this thing, you're not going to spend as much time on one single project as you used to before. If you used to take 1 hour to edit a project on a previous MacBook Pro, it would take you about 20 minutes to do that on this MacBook Pro. This thing goes more than 1 hour. It takes about anywhere from 3 to 4 hours for video editing and most of my creative works. But if it's just movies or FaceTime or whatever, I just sleep off before it runs out. Like, I just sleep off. It does not die. Speaking of battery life, if there's one thing that I love more about this MacBook, it's the fast charging. This thing basically just supercharges your MacBook Pro. When my battery dies, I just have to be plugged in for like 30 minutes to be able to get something by. I had to buy the extension cable because I just detest plugging that brick into the wall. If there was one thing that I could possibly have improved on now, having used this thing better, I would have chosen the 2TB version. My Final Cut Pro library can get to about 1.5 terabytes. That's purchasing error, if you would say. So I would advise that if you do plan to travel with this thing a lot, get the 2TB version, as it would come in clutch. You wouldn't have to worry about storage and things like that. Remember there's times when we used to have like 5 GB of storage, and now even 1 terabyte is like, what are you doing, man? What is that? What is 1 terabyte? Where are we headed, people? Where are we headed? I don't know. I don't know. Another reason why this MacBook is good for traveling is the ports. Because I'm a 2015 MacBook Pro user, I expect to have an SD card slot. Duh, almost everybody uses an SD card. You just want to be able to take that out, slip it in, get your file transfer, and not worry about dongles or anything else. What's the last thing that makes this thing great for travel? Oh, that's right, the screen. Don't like traveling, and I don't like packing. Okay, it's been a long day and it's about to be wrapped up, so I'm just going to binge watch a couple of my favorite creators and their videos and see what they got going on the channel that's new.
I used the Insta360 in like quite some time.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Andrew Warner. I'm a creator from Toronto, Canada.
So yeah, that's it.